going rough enough. Dopest dope you've ever smoked. I'm like the dopest dope you've ever smoked. Drink up, I'm sold. I'm like the dopest dope you've ever smoked. These feelings you evoke, I only need one.
Top-rated amateur
Sorely in gaming, absolutely dominant.
Trolling coming in here to push these guys away. Hey guys, and welcome. Summoner Society's Oceanic Circuit.
We hit the Vipers.
Slayer goes in, but it's only on Gorshi, and that means that the Orn will drop down. Demon Slayer falls soon after. Rebel's trying to run. And here we go then, and that is a big flash straight away there from Icy. And Gorshi's going to be able to get the first kill. They get a second one as well, straight from Dave.
There is the picking his fights straight away there.
But Galio mid picked up Hydra. You see a lane getting hit from the Gragas. He's just sitting there.
To engage, he gets knocked up. Meanwhile, here comes Diamond 5. The wave as well, they're looking for it. Big shockwave on the backside. ZZ goes.
Start of the game, and as I say that, Locks now moving with the engage of the keep and no to go.
Teleport, it will be day and falling. Demon Slayer flashing, he's looking for it, he can't find it for second week. So much help.
Hill, Ice Bank will be right here. Shockwave coming through. Rule that one out. Gets the extra. Able to take out Gojo in the end, Forsaken there with the extra dunk down, takes care of Locks, but even still, we have Gomez here, having the burnout flash as well as cool. The Forge God is on the run here at the moment, but doesn't have the movement speed, just available from the DPS, and once again, Rebel is picking up his second kill here.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the semi-finals of the Summoner Society Oceanic Circuit, split number 2 for 2018. We're here into the most important part of the season now. 2 games this afternoon. Knights versus Squids up now, and then Off the Grid versus Visaria later in the afternoon. I am Flying Finn. I am joined once more by Perplexer here at the casting desk, and well, looking forward to a very big matchup between two pretty strong teams.
Yeah, I think that Knights have been, quite a powerhouse throughout this tournament, but Squids coming up from maybe a mediocre start, really pulling together this roster, coming together as a team, having an impeccable performance the last 2 weeks. And so I think this matchup's really going to be quite a game to watch.
Absolutely. We'll go into a bit of that a little bit later on as well. But having a look at this, we're straight into Champ Select for game number 1 here. Knights on the blue side for game 1, Squids on the red. Bans coming out straight away. Camille, Nico, and Braum by Knights. And then Lucian, Cassiopeia, and Urgot taken away there by Squids. As pretty early on, Alistair picked up straight away. Very high pick rate we've seen so far this split.
Yeah, Alistair has just been such a staple pick for this tournament. It's a good early priority pick. You can blind pick it into most bot lane matchups. It allows you to do a lot of playmaking for your support. It's just such a strong champion at the moment. They have, however, left open Irelia and Akali, as well as Aatrox, which have all been very strong picks, and you do see the Aatrox being picked up there. For Sam, presumably, could always be to the jungle or the mid lane, but Sam has been quite a strong top laner, so I would not be surprised if it was put there. Morgana actually being picked up as a counter pick, sort of counter pick to the Alistair, stopping that headbutt pulverize combo from coming out. I think it's quite a good answer, but definitely interesting to see how that does get played with the rest of the team comp.
Absolutely. Here we see Kai'Sa also being picked up, so that will be there for Vincent, no doubt. Vincent, who has been running as AD Chudo now for a little while, which has definitely confused me for a very long time. As the actual Chudo here looking like he's going to be picking up Lissandra, so playing a little bit safer in the mid lane, maybe feeling like that Akali or Irelia might be getting picked up.
Yeah, and I think it's amazing that it's gone through this entire pick phase, first pick phase, and neither of them have been picked up. That, I think, is saying a lot about how the teams maybe see the picks, have maybe lost a bit of their power going into this preseason, and with other picks like the Lissandra being strong, like the Kai'Sa Alistair bot lane being prioritized as maybe more of a win condition than your solo laners, I think that grabbing the Caitlyn and the Morgana here as maybe an answer to try and just poke down the Kai'Sa, win that lane, stop the Alistair from all-inning you, and shut down that win condition was quite a smart pickup by Squids. But yeah, no, I think it's just amazing that Akali and Irelia have gone through.
Yeah, and they're continuing to, as Caitlyn was picked up there for Hindered Raven, Poppy, and now Fiora taken away. So they're definitely aiming for this top side of the map now, because really, apart from the Aatrox pick, everything is mid lane or lower. So Aatrox could possibly be flexed into anywhere on the top side of the map. We'll see exactly who will be taking that one, whether it's Sam or Etten Salas. As next ban about to come through as well, and that will be Nocturne taken away.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely a lot of respect being shown by Squids to this top side of the map here. You have the Urgot and the Poppy being taken away, really wanting Sam to be able to have a preferably a winning matchup where he can get something done and maybe try and snowball that lead into the rest of his team. You can see though that the Xin Zhao and the Fiora being banned away. I presume then that they expect the Aatrox to be put into the mid lane, which is quite interesting, but we have seen it before, so it's not too surprising of a read.
Absolutely. Seen here, now it gets a little bit interesting. Who's going to blink first? It'll be Gragas therefore taken, so you'd imagine now Aatrox really probably only going to be on the top, in the top lane. Graves going to be picked up there, so the jungler's coming out now. Final pick. We are looking for Shaw's top laner here in game number 1.
And I would
Who's he going to
expect
take?
something like a Scion here. I think that that would be a really good pickup for this bulky front line that they have to sort of protect this Kai'Sa. But we'll have to see what he leans to. And it is going to be the Shen, which I actually think is probably a better pick.
Much down the
Scion
same
here.
path that you were talking about there. Shen obviously going to be able to use that ultimate, be able to keep the Kai'Sa alive a little bit longer, moving from lane to lane perhaps maybe to do that as well. So that now gives Squids here an opportunity. Do they want to try to counterpick? How are they going to go about it? Are they happy with the Aatrox into the Shen? And it seems like that is a yes. Yasuo will be picked up there, assumed to be in the mid lane, and there you go. Irelia is no longer 100% pick ban.
Irelia and Akali completely ignored this entire phase. I think that's fascinating, to be perfectly honest. But another thing that I think I have to mention here is that the entire team comp for Knights is to protect the Kai'Sa here. You want this Kai'Sa to survive laning phase against the Caitlyn. You want your Lissandra and your Shen to just turtle. You want your Graves to try and make something happen in the bot lane, in the mid lane, to maybe limit the solo lane leads and try and get your Kai'Sa ahead. Team fights come up, you hit those 3-item spikes, and you just tear through the enemy team. The problem now is that they ended up picking up the Yasuo. And I think that if there's anyone you want to be able to shut down an AD carry, it's probably going to be a Yasuo.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of ways to be able to get that Yasuo into the game, into the team fight, both the Gragas barrel, Aatrox knockup. So they've got a lot to work with there for Banished. Talking of Banished, we're really looking forward to possibly having Frey here. Nothing against Judo, but we were looking at one of the big matchups that we were going to be watching was Banished and Frey. Banished coming off a very strong week, playing LeBlanc against Viseria last week, 11-1 and 8. Frey was playing mid lane Pike, 18-2. I still think that Chudo here, it still makes it a very interesting matchup. Chudo coming back into the team now after a couple of weeks off. How is he going to be able to go into Banished?
Yeah, I definitely think that Banished has been performing quite admirably over the last few weeks, really stepping it up for his team here. And I think that if he's able to make this Yasuo pick work, then that is going to be something that I definitely think the Knights weren't prepared for, as well as Sam being such a strong solo laner, being able to work with the Gragas to, as you mentioned, get the Yasuo into these fights. I think as long as Hindered Raven and Arctic are able to neutralize this Kai'Sa pick, and the Alistar in the bot lane, which after the Morgana pickup is very plausible, I could definitely see Squids taking these teamfight wins and being able to exert pressure over the map, maybe a little bit more cleanly than Knights will be able to answer with. You do have to keep in mind that the Shen does have that ult and that TP, as well as the Sandra grabbing the TP, so they are able to do quite a threatening 1-3-1 here, and then force some form of objective teamfight. But yeah, I think that the teamfighting front to back setup that both teams here want to employ, it's all about just who wants to get onto the other team first. And if you can get onto the Kai'Sa with your Yasuo, getting a knockup, getting a snare, finding a flash body slam from the Gragas, then that will win you the team fight. Whereas if Lissandra alternatively gets a nice snare into the Kai'Sa and the Shen being, ulting the Kai'Sa, letting her tear through the team, get those stacks off, get the passive popping, then the team fight will lean more to Knights. And so I definitely think it's about the engage more so than the execution.
Yeah, that's a very good way of looking at it, I think. I'm also interested, you'd mentioned the double TP, Chudo and Shaw there. I mean, let's look at it this way as well. You're talking about the dangerous 1-3-1. I'm looking at the likelihood that come about level 6, 7, or 8 for the solo lane is that there's not going to be 5 people down in the bottom lane. Like, and then just to add on to that, then the Shen gets back up into top or mid or wherever just to protect the tower. Like, there could be real fiesta down there, so definitely look forward to seeing how that will go. Otherwise, Sam, I think, you know, you've talked about him. He has been explosive for sure for Squids in the last couple of weeks. Coming up against Shaw, who's going to probably be playing a little bit more defensively on that Shen, playing more the team fight. Looking as well, though, the jungle. Gragas for Etten Salas, Bose on the Graves.
Look, I think that Graves is able to be such a strong menace when it comes to early pressure, being able to get these like high damage ganks off with the gank assist from a Shen and Alessandro as well as the Alistar. It's just he has quite a lot of options. The problem that comes from a Graves is that it's quite a solo queue carry pick. And so when you've drafted this entire team fight around the Kai'Sa pick and team fighting and you know, protecting the Kai'Sa, having this Graves sit off to the side and do his thing might not really fall into the same win condition as the rest of the team comp. And so I'll be interested to see how he ends up playing that. On Etencelis' side here, Gragas Predator is such a staple pick throughout this tournament. I think it's been such a consistently strong early pressure, you know, high threat jungler. You know, you do the early clear, you get your boots, you run down, you know, to bot lane, and then just like jump onto the Caitlyn. Sorry, not the Caitlyn, the Kai'Sa, right? And so that can allow you to make something happen. But you know, if Graves is there to read it and the Alistar gets the knock up, then you know anything could happen with the Shen ult and the Slandra. So yeah, I'm expecting that the Predator Gragas will try to look bot side, try and maybe answer some of that aggression, but yeah, no. Very interested to see how they play this.
Yep. Here we go then. Summoner's Rift, game number 1, semi-final number 1 of the Oceanic circuit. Knights on the blue side and Squids on the red side. So, who are you feeling is going to take this one? It's a tricky one.
Well, it's the first game of a best of 3, so I don't really want to make any outrageous claims, but I definitely like the draft that Squids has put together here. I think that there's a lot more options that they're able to employ with, you know, multiple threats, and they're able to, you know, play different, you know, macro styles. They can, you know, all in on the bot lane. They can accelerate the mid lane. You know, Aatrox can solo carry and roam. Like, there's a lot of versatility in that team comp, which I think I have to hand them the credit for that. But Knights have been so strong mechanically that I think that game 1's probably going to go to Knights. And I know that sort of contradicts what I said about their draft, but I definitely think that Knights is just such a strong, mechanically and individually talented team, as well as they do have clean team fighting, and you know, this Kai'Sa pick, I'm interested to see how this works for them.
I think Vincent on Kai'Sa, he's been very strong in that champion more than a few times.
Oh,
so
for sure.
Definitely looking for that. Also, earlier in the season, it was interesting that Knights versus Squids was off stream week number 1. That was actually the first win for Knights. So, seeing if Squids are able to turn this one around. Obviously, teams have changed quite a bit since then.
Yeah, I think that you have to give Squids credit here, though, because they came into this as a shambled mess of a team. They lost to Knights week 1. You know, they weren't really all in sync, but in the last few weeks, they've just been such a powerhouse. You know, taking out early was Viseria, taking wins off Paradox, and so yeah, I think that Squids have definitely grown since the first game, and we'll have to see how that works out for them.
Absolutely. Right then, a little bit. Oh, a couple of skirmishes around the map. Sure, not really enjoying this top lane up against Sam at the moment. Banished, possibly could be the same said about him up against Judo.
Yeah, you say that, but also looking at the CS, Shen is actually gonna be ahead if he doesn't end up dying here.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. That shield there protecting him from basic attacks, but it doesn't really help when the axe is just slamming down on top of him.
Yeah, the Aatrox Q really quite packing a punch. I think that they were expecting the Aatrox to get picked into another lane, but I think that given their team comp, that the Shen here was probably the best pick, and they are just going to sacrifice that top lane there to allow this Kai'Sa to be able to have that another layer of protection and maybe make something happen in the bot lane early.
I think as well, I can remember a long time ago that even when Shen isn't in what you would consider the meta, he is always going to be useful thanks to that ultimate. And I believe somebody had mentioned it's like if you can get 2 ultimates off that actually do like create something during the game, that's your break-even point. After that, then you're useful. If you don't make anything, then you're probably not so useful. As he's got to be careful here. A lot of damage coming out. Just one more hit away. Sam pretty close to him, but won't go for the tower dive just yet.
Yeah, I think that there's just so much damage coming out from the Aatrox here. It's why the pick's so heavily contested and prioritized by these teams, is you just have so much early damage, and then you can just scale into the team fights and just shred through everybody. What's interesting to note, though, is that Banished is actually 2 CS up on Tudo here, which is, I think, quite surprising. I think that a Yasuo into a Lissandra pick might be a little bit more rough, but he seems to be playing it quite well.
I think even this bottom lane, Vincent and Malik, they were doing quite well for a while there. They were up a little bit. It's just sort of stabilized a bit, and the Caitlyn's found itself ahead as Judo going in here actually, and Bose has come along as well, looking for Banished. What's he going to be able to do? Underneath the tower, eventually flashes away. Nice first gank there that we've seen.
Yeah, I think that is maybe the strength of a Graves, is trying to get this early damage down onto a lane like a Lissandra. They can set up for it. Looks like Sam's trying to make something happen here.
Yeah, no, but Shaw's gone back, and that's important. He's got a little bit more, though. Actually, no, they've both gone back, and Sam has actually used double as here we go, fight in the river. Banished. Or Tudor getting out of there just quickly enough, and Mel going low as well. Shaw and Sam still going for it. It's just going off all over the map here at the moment, and nobody died.
I think that was a little bit anticlimactic. I was ready for first blood.
Yeah, I was ready for about 3.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of respect being shown by both teams there. You know, understanding that the other team, both teams do have a lot of damage, do have a lot of CC early. But yeah, no, that's quite surprising. But I think that the Caitlyn there getting that 6 CS lead here does show just how oppressive she can be in lane, especially against the shorter range of a Kai'Sa. But
nice little play there by Shaw, just getting Sam underneath the tower briefly. Just makes him have to think a little bit now about how he wants to go about things. He's slowly chipping away.
the important thing to note here, though, is that Tudo and Shaw both use TP to get back to lane. And so Sam is currently sitting with a TP advantage against the team that's planned to do the 4-man bot lane dive. So I think that...
4 or more.
4 or more. So I think that if they are planning to make something happen here, they might have more people showing up to the fight than they originally planned.
Absolutely. Okay, so I think it also allows Sam, if Shaw has to, use his ultimate to get mid or bot lane, Sam is looking pretty good for a turret. As here we go, Etin Salas straight away. Banish using the ultimate as well. How can Tudo get out of this one? He's going to not actually go for it. They're thinking they can turn this around. Etin Salas, he will go down first. Blood to Bose. What looked to be so good there for Squids just went so bad.
And that just shows you the power of this Lissandra pick. You can just ult yourself, you can buy so much time, and you with the aftershock as well, you just end up being so tanky that even with the combo there, it couldn't work out, and didn't have the damage to be able to burst down Tudo before the Graves and the Shen ult came out. So
absolutely. So Shaw making A little bit of worthwhile there as we saw Artek. Very nice flash over the wall, just getting away from that in time. Sam, though, he's been able to make some worth on the top side there, taking down 2 of the plates of the turret.
Yeah, and given his 17 CS lead, this Aatrox is sitting quite nicely on the amount of gold he's been able to acquire purely off of this laning phase. Being able to early shove now in this turret plating gold harvesting season is definitely something that's going to be lending itself to him being able to get these items, being able to get this early damage, and then being able to make
now the flash knock up there, and they're going to be able to get the kill straight away. It will taking it. Bo's actually flashing forward. One more hit, and it will be Vincent taking that one. Topside Shore will just get away.
Wow, that was a Melg. That was insane. Why? But why were they so far forward is what I want to ask. You don't have the vision. You don't know where they are. And the wave was pushing into you, so I think a little bit of an overextension there by Hindered Raven and Arctic, and they get punished for it. Melg sees the opportunity and just goes for it, and it pays off beautifully.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, however, at the moment, I see that top lane. Everything on the top side of the map isn't going too well at the moment for Knights. Blue buff taken away by Etten Salas as well, so he's still making worth even after that early first blood against him. Sure, just got to be able to try to get anything that he can at the moment.
Yeah, I think that you can see though that Tudo is opting for the Proto Belt here, which is just really helpful for these team fights, being able to just, get onto the target you need to get onto, the extra burst damage as well. I think it's quite a smart pick, and it is the most optimal pick, I think, on the champion at the moment, especially with this team comp. Tudo, though, here, picking up the Stormrazor, showing, going for that early damage on the Kai'Sa instead of maybe going to the later game commitment of the early Rage Blade. But yeah, I think that if there's a time that they want to fight bot lane again, it's probably going to be now, because you have that spike on the Kai'Sa. Caitlyn hasn't finished her Stormrazor yet, her first item yet, and just made them blow all of their summoner spells. So.
Yeah, only Artek with Ignite is the only summoner spell left for them at the moment, which really isn't anything to write home about. It's not really going to help.
And you can see Graves here moving in for a play.
Yeah, exactly. Straight in. Here he comes. Going to look straight for Artek. So Artek going to try to stop himself from being slowed down, looking for the stuns. Going to get it as well. But the snipe from Bows on the backside of the play. They will get the kill. So yet another one over towards Knights. And now the race is on. They're looking for that first turret. Sam is so close to taking it in the top side. I don't think he's going to be able to do that.
I don't think they're going to be able to take it in the bot lane. They don't have the minions.
There you go.
So I think
that's around here. Like, what is their movements?
I think that with Hidden Raven being at the turret, it's going to be quite hard for them to get it. Whoa.
That flash away there from Shaw, incredibly important. And I think that might be Knights turning around saying they're going to have to give up that turret, so they're going to take the Drake instead.
Yeah, I think that the fact that it's an Ocean Drake might not be ideal for them, but an Ocean Drake early into the game really, really helps with these early skirmishes and these early trades. Maybe not so later, but for now, it's quite a nice thing to have.
If you get late enough, it'll definitely be worthwhile, because you just take trades and you can still head over to the Baron or Drake or something like that and get a little bit of health back. So definitely, like, in the mid game, yeah, I agree, it's probably not too great.
Okay,
once you get 3 of them, it doesn't matter.
I can agree to that. I do think that when you have 3 Ocean Drakes, you take a team fight mid lane, you get, like a pick, you roam around to Baron and you're suddenly all full health again. But and for Knights with their scaling of this Kai'Sa, I mean, and the Graves as well, I can definitely see it working out to being that late. Problem is that with the early aggression and mid-game power spikes coming out from this Yasuo, this Caitlyn, Aatrox, will they let them? And so that's the main thing to note here.
absolutely. It's a nice little play there by Banish. Doesn't decide to go for it. So we're just slowing down. We're waiting for Squids to get themselves a kill. It could be here at the moment right now. As sure, yep, there's a knockback. Might actually help him stay alive for a little while longer. Etincell's a bit of a misplay there, but Sam, just so much damage. They get themselves onto the board.
Yeah, I think that's really important there, being able to get a lead in the top side. Like, you say, look, we've lost 3 kills bot lane. You know, they're committing to it. They're committing to it again.
Yeah, absolutely, Malik's looking for it. Oh, they've actually got the snare underneath the tower, and that will be Vincent falling down. The misplay coming out of him there, just so unfortunate.
Yeah, I think getting a little bit too far there. But I don't know about you, but I don't know of a Vincent.
Ooh.
Whoa, I only know of AD Tudo. But yeah, no, that was really unfortunate there. Just ulting just into the turret range and then taking aggro.
Looking forward, they're going underneath. Hindered Raven should fall here. Indeed he will. The teleport coming out though, and Shaw is here as well. Artek has gone golden though. The status coming out underneath the tower. 4 members bot. This is what we're talking about. Sam though, can he survive? Knocked up. Tudo is still alive somehow. He was tanking up the turret. Bose as well. There's Banish though. He'll find him. Tudo now giving chase after the Yasuo. Will get the stun, but he will get out of it straight away. He gets the double kill down in the bottom lane as Amalgam Shaw fall down, and all of a sudden Squids have come up with everything.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you draft the team comp around a Kai'Sa being able to win these team fights for you, and then taking a team fight without your Kai'Sa. They saw that the Kai'Sa was picked earlier, they knew they had the numbers advantage, they knew they had the damage, and then with Banish coming in at the end of that fight, Sam TPing down, you know, I said earlier they might not expect that many people, and they didn't. I think that was just beautifully played, and I have to give credit to Arctic there, who somehow stayed alive throughout that entire fight, getting down those snares and setting up this team fight for his team to be able to capitalize on. And they end up getting the mid and outer turrets for bottom and mid.
Yeah, I have to agree there. Artek there, using that, I assume that would have been the stopwatch. Just really turned that fight around, because it was looking like it was going to go, you know, pretty straightforward. You get the 2 bottom laners and pretty much just get out of there. And then Artek didn't die. And so they had to stay around, and they had to put more resources into being able to get him. It really did change the entire complexion of that fight, and as a result, it's also changed the game as a whole as well. We saw at that point Squids were maybe around 1,000 gold down, a bit less than that. They're now pushing 2,500 gold up.
Yeah, I think that definitely says just how threatening this mid-game to early game of this team comp is, especially when you get the pick on the Kai'Sa early. And we said earlier how important getting onto that Kai'Sa before the team fight or just as the team fight starts is. And so definitely Knights have to be respectful of, look, if we lose the Kai'Sa, you reset, you know, you forfeit the play, because otherwise Squids turns it on you, and then you end up in a 2k gold deficit.
Absolutely, as nope, Tudo.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, that was a little bit unfortunate there, trying to face check him.
He had flash and ult up.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, I know that Aatrox does a little bit of an unsurprising amount of damage, but I think that maybe not fully awake there.
Yeah, absolutely. As no, Drake has been taken, and that will be Banish taken down as well on the top side. So making a little bit of worth there in the end. Knights as a short just gets out of that one. Sam is going to give chase though. Does he realize what he's getting himself into though? Here comes Bose. They're going to be looking for the Aatrox. Gets the slow down, but they decide that they can't take that fight. That is why the cavalry is turning up through the jungle. Yeah, since Alice was ready for that one, but was not Knights who are ready for it.
I have to make note here though that Lissandra, despite opting for this Hextech Proto Belt for like this early engages and being able to skirmish and teamfight.
Oh, hang on, that was going straight in. Artek, very nice use of the Black Shield, will keep himself alive a little bit longer, but he will fall. Ayrton Salas goes as well. Tudo with the double kill.
I was about to get upset at Tudo for not going for Ninja Tabby, but then he does that, and so now I don't know how to feel. But yeah, that was that was something. That was definitely them having the numbers advantage, you know, knowing where they need to be. Squids maybe being a little slow to react, not having the vision, and so they get punished for it. And then that's going to be mid lane turret, and that's allows them to open up the map here.
Absolutely, Sam. They're backing away in the bottom lane. He was doing a lot of work, but in the end, couldn't do quite enough to be able to take down that turret. How that fight could have gone up there in the river had he have been there?
I think we did miss it though. Well, you didn't miss it, but we did talk about it enough. It did get the Infernal Dragon, and I think that not only are you taking that away from the Kai'Sa and the Graves that want that to be able to accelerate that gold value, you're giving it to a Yasuo and an Aatrox, which is, I think, the insanely good for this team. They want to be able to have that high damage, have that high gold efficiency to be able to get onto these targets and just burst them down. And sure, the Sandra can keep herself alive with the Zhonya's and ulting, but Kai'Sa doesn't have those tools available to her. And so if you take out the Kai'Sa, ignore the Lissandra and teamfights, if you're able to like get past that engage, that Infernal Drag is going to do work.
Oh yes, I think as well, you look at the team composition that they have, Squids, Celis and Artek, they're their only magic damage, really, that's going to be coming out there. The rest of them...
I mean, yes, but also, full AP Gragas is terrifying. I think the amount of damage that Celis could be... Oh, in the top lane.
Oh yeah, no, Amalga's still going forwards. They're going to be able to take down Banishment. Bottom side of the map, we do see that Shore has fallen down. Bose is now running the wrong way to be able to get away from Celis and Sam. Can he turn this one around? There's three of them onto him, and in the end, the answer is no. He will go down as well. We're still at an 800 gold difference here for Blake, so this could change in a second as Vincent and Amalg take down this turret.
Yeah, I think that...
Oh, it doesn't matter. The turret went down anyway.
You do say that, but they're about to crack the base, and that is huge for Squids here.
Yeah, Chudo can't get anywhere near this one. If he goes in, he's just given a kill and probably, well, even more of the base. In the end, it'll have to back off, fair enough, and find themselves with a little bit more of a gold lead once more.
Yeah, I think that's sort of the momentum of this game is they lose a pick in the top side, and if Banish gets a little overextensive, they have the Alistar and somebody else, in this case it was the Kai'Sa, but they just collapse bot lane and then they're cleaning it up. And so the flash away there by Hinderdraven, really respectful.
Ooh, Sam with the stopwatch, he's come in, how's this gonna go? They're not doing any damage to him at the moment. This fight is not going very well for Knights. In the end, there will be Squids just backing away, and now, interestingly enough, Knights actually have the inside line here to be able to go for the Baron.
Yeah, I think that they're forced to reset here. They know that they got them low, they know they have the gold. They might just be able to sneak this.
Yeah, no, and they've got the damage.
Yeah, Kai'Sa just shredding Baron.
They've got, what, the big thing here is they have the surprise. This is down to 1,000 health. There is nothing from Squids. They have no idea.
They just took that one right under their nose. That was, I think that was beautiful. That was so fun to watch. They knew they had to gold reset. They knew that they didn't have vision of it. And so, yeah, they just get a free Baron.
You could just see the movements of everyone on the map there from Squids was just sort of like, oh. And then I think there was just one ping on Drake, which is like, well, I guess we take this now. That's the only thing left that we have.
Yeah, and, I mean, getting something for it, I mean, it's better than getting nothing for it, right?
Absolutely, I have to agree with you there. It does, though, create an interesting situation. Where do they go to from here? Both teams. Baron versus, well, not really all that much. They were ahead in gold a moment ago, Squids. They're not so anymore, and they're going to have to be careful here. This could be Knights looking to be taking parts of their base.
Yeah, definitely, and so Baron is just such a force with these minions. They just maybe don't have as much wave clear as they would like, but they do have Sam, and now they are going to fight.
Chudo, he's just been destroyed there. Sam now looking for a bit more. We also have Banish coming in from the side. He gets knocked away by Amal, who's going to save his team just a little while longer. Banish, though, is looking to find someone. Sam as well. Can they do it? Yes, they find Bose. How's Bose going to get out of it? Nice dash to the side is all that it takes. In the end, not much else can be found. Knights, though, being gutted.
That's the second time the Tudo has died with Flash and ult up. That's all I'm gonna say. I think that not really what you want your frontline engaged Lissandra to be doing, but you know, it's unfortunate the amount of damage and engage coming out.
Oh, Banish might have been found here. He's using that wind wall very nicely. Oh, here comes Vincent. He's been knocked up. Can they actually get the kill? Yes, they can. Very nice snipe. And there is the TP as well from Tudo. Artek will flash over the wall. No. Is he going to get out of here? Not quite sure. We'll find both of them. Takes down the Morgana. Looking for Sam, meanwhile. Sam doesn't have his ultimate, I don't believe, for a little while longer. Stunned up, taken down, shut down onto the graves.
Yeah, and that was them getting, you know, that was them getting overextended. They got the 2 picks. They were like, look, we got this. We can just sort of do whatever we want. They find Vanish caught out. They force them to blow resources to try and save him, and they don't get anything for it. And then they lose 3 picks, and they lose the mid lane turret. And now with the Baron buff, they can just look to siege this down.
It's crazy to think that a second ago, Knights really didn't deserve anything like this, and now they're pushing in towards the base. Oh my goodness! Oh, that nearly just snuck the gap.
Oh, it's always terrifying when that happens. When you're the target, you're like, please don't move. Please just do not move. Trying to look for Bose here.
Yeah, Bose is being caught out now, perhaps. He has to use his ultimate just to get a little bit extra distance. Dashing away as well, but Banished and Essence Salas will not stop. Well, actually, they will. There you go.
Yeah, there's a little bit of an awkward timing there. Unfortunately, they do decide to not pursue. I think that was definitely the smarter call. I mean, Graves going into his jungle and you have no vision, and they have a whole team up there. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one.
Yeah, I have to agree. Oh goodness, that's unfortunate there for Bose, just getting knocked up on the back end of that whirlwind from Banished. See, now the game has just sort of slowed down a little bit. Everyone's just taking the time. How are they going to move? Where are they going to move? What are they going to do? No Baron, no Drake. Drake for another minute and a half.
Important thing to note, though, is that as you see the timer, Baron has been reduced by a minute, I believe, which means that opportunities will arise a lot quicker, which means that they need to start securing, the Squids esports side needs to start securing this topside vision. Otherwise, you know, they're just going to get snuck on them again, right? And I really don't think that they want to have to deal with that. You can also see that they haven't, except for obviously Ender Raven, picked up a blue trinket, which I am a little disappointed by. I think the Banished maybe should have picked up a blue trinket there just to be able to check objectives like that when they don't have the pressure to be able to just like blind face check these bushes.
Definitely have to agree on that, as now we actually see 4 members. Oh, they're going straight for Shaw here. He's down in the bottom lane by himself. Where is he going to move? How can he do this? Nice little dash away there at first. So this is going to create a little bit of space on the top side of the map. Can he get out? No, he cannot. He will be cancelled there. Stays alive for a little bit longer. I feel that he should have just kept running.
I mean, he should have. You've got to respect the attempt, right? Like
trying to
SOAS. Unfortunate, but you know, he ends up blowing the ult, which is quite a short cooldown compared to the TP. But they trade it for top lane turret here, which is definitely, in my opinion, worth it. I think that getting a pick onto Shen and making him blow ult, maybe not quite worth that.
As we will see that Drake has been started up there by Banished, who doesn't really have any sort of problem with taking this at the moment.
It is also an Ocean Drake again, so
now,
not really going to be.
Yeah, they'll equalize it at. Well, that's basically all it's going to do there for Squid. So they go to 3 Drakes now. Alda is a very nice proposition a little bit later into the game. And this time, once again, Knights just having a sneaky little look towards the Baron, but Squids are ready for it.
Yeah, you say that Alda Dragon's a nice proposition.
Are they?
I say Baron is.
Oh no, they are not ready for that one. Sam face checking blindly, walks straight into that one. Will ult, he's stayed alive twice when he's died. Goodness gracious me, as there goes Artek. Sam finally falls. It's now 5-on-3. And Vincent wants it. He wants Hindered Raven. He will be able to find him back into the play. Banish goes down as well. They find them all.
And we said at the beginning of this game, it's about the engage that's going to decide the team fight. And having your Aatrox, who's your main carry threat at the moment, getting caught out so badly there and just getting annihilated by the amount of CC and damage from Knights' side, they're just going to look to end the game.
Absolutely. There we go. There goes the inhibitor. The minion wave is falling by the wayside. Banished is there. Can he do anything? Windwall really won't do much. He's going to get knocked up. He's going to get taken down. Artek has popped back up, but there's nothing that he can do either. There goes the first Nexus turret. There goes the second. Here's the Nexus, and that will be game 1 of this semi-final.
Yeah, I think that was vision control entirely. That they knew they had vision control with the Baron. They knew that they had to check it. It was just they ended up face checking the pixel bush as Aatrox, and I mean, sometimes that happens. And as unfortunate as it is, that does give Knights game 1.
There you go. They didn't do that the easy way.
No, definitely.
They did that very much the hard way, but in the end they got there nonetheless. You feel that there was a little bit of emphasis put on maybe punishing Shaw, but in the end, it just wasn't enough. He used his ultimate enough. He got around the map. He helped his team. He got pretty well.
But it's also like you don't need to be killing Shaw. Killing Shaw doesn't achieve you anything. Killing 80 Tudo and Bose is what achieves you things, right? Sorry, Vincent Jr. I always get confused. But like he died once. This Kai'Sa pick died once, and
Yeah.
I think that shows that not only were maybe Squids playing this from the wrong angle and not being able to make anything happen on that carry pick, but also just how well that Vincent played it and being able to stay safe in all these team fights. I think that was just really well done.
Well, yeah, and that one death that he had, the following team fight, was the big one in the bottom lane that Knights had no damage to really finish off. That
Oh
they
yeah,
couldn't take it.
completely.
So, like, it's interesting that the one time that they didn't have Vincent, it went bad for them. After that, he never died. He was in it all the time. 6-1-7, a fantastic effort. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to a quick break, then here at Summoner Society. And right after this, game number 2 of this best-of-3 series, Knights versus Squids.
It's calling us.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, then to semi-final number 1 of the Summoner Society Oceanic Circuit, split number 2. We have here Squids on the blue side, Knights on the red side after that fantastic game number 1, which Knights ended up taking. I am Flying Finn. I have Perplexer by my side once again. And I think we were just discussing there in that small break that we had, vision control. Very, very important again.
Yeah, I think the Knights were just all over it, and their win condition, right? As we identified at the beginning, just in draft phase, was they wanted their Kai'Sa to be able to just do whatever it wants in these team fights, right? And the way that you can get onto a Kai'Sa is by knowing where the Kai'Sa is. And so, as simple as that sounds, being able to get vision control, prioritizing vision control around objectives, around the enemy jungle, would have definitely helped Squids there with those team fights that maybe didn't quite go the way they planned.
I think as well, I think they were just caught off guard a few times. I mean, the Baron was really what changed the game, twice. That early Baron that Knights took was able to get them back into the game a little bit, where they were just maybe slipping behind at various points. And then Sam getting caught out trying to face check the second time. Well, that ended the game.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think that they just did not know what was happening in that Baron pit, and they ended up face checking, and either it's got snuck as we mentioned earlier, and then they have to deal with all these other shoving lanes, or they have to face check it, and then your carry gets blown up, and the Kai'Sa goes through your entire team. And so, yeah, I mean, looking at the bans here, that Aatrox ban, a lot of respect being shown to Sam there. I think he was...
Absolutely, yeah. Aatrox, as well as the Alistair as well. They're feeling that the Alistair is such a power pick at the moment. They take that off the board. Camille as well, so looking towards Eton Salas. Meanwhile, yet again, we see the Lucians being banned. Nico as well as Cassiopeia. I seem to feel that might have been the same 3 that Squids banned last game. As out comes the Kai'Sa yet again there for Vincent. Urgot's been picked up there, no doubt for sure in the top lane. As we saw, Lissandra was the first pick there for Squid. So now, where are they going to be looking? They've got the opportunity maybe for a counter pick or 2.
Yeah, I mean, you said it was the same bans. The only difference was they didn't ban Nico, Knights banned Nico, and they banned the Urgot, and now Shaw gets his Urgot. So, the question is, can Sam answer an Urgot? And I think that, given how strong he was on the Aatrox, getting that taken away, his options are more limited, but definitely interested to see. The Zyra Khan there getting picked up. I think, look, if you want any lane to be able to win against a Kai'Sa, you pick a Zyra Khan lane.
Yeah.
Just being able to shut down Kai'Sa's early, any chance of early, being able to have lane priority to be able to get Drakes, having the Lissandra being a flex priority pick. I would actually be surprised if they don't end up picking an Akali or an Irelia here, because you've already picked up the first flex, getting the second flex, and you throw a really big curveball in there, especially not having that last pick, now being on the blue side, having that double flex, that would be really good. But, after it just both of them went through the entire draft last game, I don't know what to think anymore.
Very true. As we once again see the Fiora and the Poppy being banned away. I mean, I find it interesting. That Poppy must be a ban towards the jungle then.
I can't think of why you would ban a Poppy. But I mean, maybe he's just insane at it, right?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Indeed, who knows indeed.
Could always flex it there and just Poppy in top lane. That is an option.
Absolutely. It wouldn't be out of the question, but still. We see Irelia now back to being on the pick ban list, has been banned away there by Knights. Squids will take away Syndra, as now we move into the second pick phase. So we're looking for a couple of mid laners to pop up. We'll see if Knights hold that position. They know that they have the counter pick. Will they hold on to it here? And maybe they'll throw the jungler out. Oh. Let's see if it will actually be the Nunu being picked up. Gonna say probably not. Elise instead.
I still think that Elise is quite a wrench in the system here. Maybe not quite as fun as a Nunu. But definitely not quite meta. I think that Elise, well, yeah, everyone says how strong Elise is in the early game. Mid game and team fights, and if you don't get a lead, you're kind of useless, if I say so myself. Just not quite have it the same numbers as other picks, and you see the Elise getting picked up, and I think that that's a really good answer to the Elise's early aggression. And so,
fight fire with fire.
Was also an AD jungle pick, so I mean Akali is a viable pick here. But
the Lyssandra's already been picked, so there isn't going to be that sort of counter coming through if they wanted to. Instead, no, it's going to be Renekton coming instead there. Sam.
Am I watching a 5v5? It is a Veigar. Okay, this is my theory is just gone. If that's locked in Veigar, I don't know what to think anymore. Renekton being picked up in the top lane to answer Urgot, and then a Veigar being picked up with an Elise. I mean,
all I'm gonna say, I know someone that used to play Veigar top lane, so like, tank Veigar.
Tank Veigar, that is not something I really want to talk about right now. That is flashbacks right there, Jesus. But yeah, no, it does get put in the mid lane. I think the amount of CC lockdown would be really good here with the Elise and the Veigar in the 2v2. The problem is that all Lysandra has to do is press E at the right time, and they can normally escape gang. I think that if you can CC them as they E, and there's a level of intricacy there, but even if you just take the E early to dodge it, I think that there's a lot on the table there for Banish to be able to outplay these ganks. Sam on the Renekton. Let's just talk about that for a little bit, shall we?
We could probably talk about it all day, and it would still be an interesting topic.
Do you know how a Renekton plays into an Urgot? Because I do not have the faintest clue.
It would be difficult. It would be all in, though, which is interesting because Sam there has opted for a teleport instead. So he's looking at maybe not going as all in as before.
I think that Renekton can, but maybe not as easily as some other champions get those solo kills, especially like on a pick like an Urgot, given how safe he can play. So the TP here being picked up for the double TP to be able to answer the Urgot's roams is maybe the smarter option. Although I just think like there's so many other options on the board for Sam to have taken. Like the Scion's up. We know he does well on that. We know that there's could have flexed Lysandra in the top lane. Like there's so many different. I mean, Akali. We were talking about Akali. I think Akali would have been a great pick in the mid lane here, and then put Lysandra in the top lane. But
they had sort of used that card very early, taking that the board, which didn't really amount for anything. Taking that Lysandra is quite possibly, that's the reason that we're now seeing this Veigar in the mid lane. Interested to see how that's going to end up going. I mean, they've got themselves quite a nice late game team there with the Veigar and the Kai'Sa. So you want to see, are they going to sort of sit back and just let it scale, or are they going to go for it? That might be why you're seeing this Renekton from Sam. He wants to punish them for waiting.
Yeah, and I think that, look, sometimes you're a player and you're just like, look, pick me the Renekton. I'm playing the Renekton. And your team's like, are you sure? And you're like, yeah, man. Put me on the Renekton and say, here you go. Sometimes the pocket picks are the best picks in these situations. Especially with the early threat of this pressure from the Zyra Khan lane and Lee Sin. It's definitely looking like an early to mid to late game standoff here, and so I think that if they can slow down the game at all, with this Elise being able to maybe help get a little bit of an advantage in the early game, Knights could just run away with this.
Have to agree, yeah. Like, it's definitely on Knights here. If they play this well enough, they will. This game is theirs. You got to be watching. What does Sam do? How well does he do early? How does Etin Salas do? Because that Lee Sin is going to be instrumental. He needs to be pretty much everywhere. It's not going to be an easy game for him. It's just going to be, you know, warning bells and alarms popping up all over the map for him. Like, oh, I need to go bot. Oh, I need to go mid. Oh, bot again.
Oh yeah, completely. The amount of pressure that this Elise is going to be putting down, as well as just these lane matchups, I think that Lee Sin's going to have to be in 3 places at once. And if you can work out a way to be in 3 places at once, then they are going to be able to take this game. But
it's probably buy Mobies early and just gank.
he might end up having to do that. I do like the Lysandra pick on Banish here, though. Being able to roam to the bot lane, being able to go into the top lane, you know, just have such team fighting mid-game capabilities. But, you know, as we've said, if things don't get rolling, then things are never going to get rolling. And so,
Nonetheless,
it's going to be
getting onto the Rift then here, Perplexer. Very important to note, once again, Squids are 1 game down in this series. They need to pick this one up. They will be starting on the blue side here today.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, in such an important match, you pull out the Renekton and you pull out the Zyra Khan, and I think you're like, look, we're gonna go hard or we're gonna go home, and quite literally, actually. So
yeah, I feel
we'll
that they've definitely gone for the fight fire with fire.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
And so,
oh, hang on, the Hindered Raven's going to see them there. Ward goes down, they get rid of it, and they realize, okay, yeah, no one there. So the first time that we've really seen an invade for a while, I feel, Perplexer. Didn't really go to plan.
But they're answering it in the top lane, and you see the ping coming out. They want to check it, but doesn't seem like they're going to.
Well, who's going to check it?
Exactly.
Well, who's going to check it? When are they going to check it? How are they going to check it? We see now that it will be that top side of the map for Squids just in wait. Sure. Oh, okay. They know. But how much do they know? What do they know?
They have the ward there, so they know that they're on this red buff.
Ooh. Question is, did they see it as well? Sam, Etin Salas, or Banished? Banished as well are going to come from behind there. You don't see that too often. Straight away onto Chudo as well. Etin Salas will take that red buff. That will probably see the map, the jungle split 50-50 on the top and the bottom side here.
Yeah, and I think that if you wanted the lanes to split
Actually,
in this way, I think you'd want the Lee Sin on the top side here.
no, Etin Salas has gone straight down towards his red. Straight past the ward as well. He's going for it. Pretty buff start.
I mean, yeah, it would have been preferable out of the splitting to have the top side, but like, why not just take both sides of the map, right? Like,
Yeah.
you can have
Bose into a
one.
very difficult situation there. Bose had to decide, do I want to fight for this red knowing that he's going to be right on? Or do I have to just now accept that I'm only going to get 1 buff?
You also have to remember that this Lysandra here has this lane priority over the Veigar, so that they would definitely be the first to answer if the fight did break out there, and so not really wanting to risk something like that.
No, definitely not. Remember this top side, Shaw and Sam. Shaw didn't have too easy a matchup last time. We'll see if it's a little bit better for him now with the Urgot into Renekton. He'll have a little bit of range, he'll have tools to be able to fight a little bit better, but maybe Sam is just going to have that little bit extra. He's going to have to use that range to his advantage.
He's gonna have that a little bit of star power.
Absolutely. As interestingly here, Banished. Oh, he's going to get stunned up. Flash forward from Bose. Banished trying to get out of there. He's got no mana. Bose going to chase after him, but Etin Salas, who's going to get the first one? It'll be Bose just in time with the last hit there of his basic attack. Etin Salas will be able to trade though.
And that was so close. You could see the Banish flashed away from that, wanting to get away. I think what was interesting is he didn't flash up towards past his Lee Sin there. Maybe wanting to try, you know, not be caught out by this Urgot roam, but see Short going in here.
Yeah, absolutely. Sam turning it around though, and he's able to take the trade pretty easily, really, in the end. I think, interestingly enough though, this is going to put Bose behind a long way. He's decided now, as a result, he needs to gank a lot, many times. Nice flash there from Sam. Didn't see the stun at all.
Yeah, no, completely. I think that was really well done. I think, was that like an animation cancel? I think that was an animation cancel. That was really nice. A little bit of a Renekton tech there. If any of you guys are planning to main Renekton, that's what you want to be doing.
Absolutely. So that's just going to push him back a little bit. We actually see Bose. He's foregoing really trying to get anywhere in this game. He's just going to sit there, look for Sam, try to get Shaw into a comfortable position in this top lane.
The issue is that there's no reason for Sam to step.
Oh, he stepped forwards and there he goes.
I'm just
Caster's curse.
predicting Caster's curse. Second I say, he walks forward into the snare. The wave was pushing into you, Sam. The wave was pushing into you. Ah, it's so unfortunate.
Absolutely, though. You'll have to burn that teleport, so obviously he was prepared for that. Sure. Going to be quite happy, though. It did go over to Bose. Bose now 2-1-0. Falling behind in farm, but looking pretty good on the gold. He's actually ahead of Etin Salas still.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And getting those early Moby boots, being able to roam into these lanes and do these ganks, definitely an important pickup, but they might meet here.
Yep, indeed they will. Who will win this one? Very nice stun coming through. Etin Salas can't really do much here. Amalg might be the first one there. However, he's going to get knocked up. There is the Ignite as well. Stun down on towards the Rakan. Artek looking for it. We actually have Banished has turned up as well. They won't look for that one though. There is the stun. Double stun, in fact, they're coming through. Banish has to be careful now as he's the one that is on the lowest amount of health. Vincent going forwards. Bose as well. Just look at those Mobies. He's just chasing them down. Chudo going forwards. Chudo with the first kill. And now Etin Salas. Can he get away from this one completely? Bose. He just wants to fight.
I mean, yeah, that's an Elise pick for you. You just fight, and kill people, and then you get these leads. And I think that... Yeah, no, I really wanted him to take that Q. That would have been, exciting, but maybe not the smartest decision.
Lee Syndrome would have been alive and well there on Etin Salas had he gone for that one. Might have worked out, but you don't know what would have happened on the other side of that player, so, oh, sure. Going forwards there, he's got to be careful, Sam. A lot of damage coming through from him.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the early damage from this Renekton, even though he's only picked up a Kindle Gem.
Just look at the speed of Bose here. He just cannot stop. And the stun's coming through. Hindered Raven, nowhere to go. Sec now stunned underneath his own turret. Can he actually do anything? Etin Salas wants to go forwards here. He has to flash away. They're all flashing away.
I mean, we talked about how Squids needs to get rolling, but they are going to turn the tide.
Vanish though, he's turned up, he's level 6 as well. He'll get stunned up early. Going to get the stun down on towards Bose. Gets the shutdown as well. Very nicely done, but he's going to give it straight over to Vincent on the back end of the play. Sure, can't quite hit his ultimate there. Artek getting away on nothing.
That was a fight. I mean, Banish getting the shutdown there is really good. The problem is that it costs so much to get. They ended up, you know, having to burn so many resources and they lost so many kills there. Is it really worth it? I mean, yeah, they do get a bit of pressure at the top lane here with Sam, but they're looking to collapse on him here.
Yep, Sam, he's going to get out of the first stun there from Chudo. Dodges everything else as well, but he can't out-sprint Bose at the moment. Just look at that. That's also the human form, Elise, not even the spider form. And Chudo says, thank you very much. I will take that one. I'll take it from here. Ult.
This guy does not slow down. He just runs down them at the team, and you just can't do anything.
Absolutely is. There's going to be an Ocean Drake now as the probable only response that Squids can really have at the moment. Can they even get that? In the end, it will actually be taken by Hindered Raven. Bit of a worry there in the end, but they get it. And really, that's all that they can do, and hope that maybe they'll be able to survive laning phase a little longer.
Yeah, I definitely think that things are sort of starting to fall apart for Squids here. They need these early advantages in lanes. They need to be able to have something to go into this mid game with. And all they have is one kill on a Lee Sin and a kill and assist on Alessandro, and that's not really a spot you want to be in when you're just staring down a Vega and a Kai'Sa.
We're pre-10 minutes, and it is a 2,000 gold lead at the moment to Knights. A number that is bound to only get larger.
Yeah, I mean, unless Squids can make something happen.
No, sure, maybe has been caught out here. Nice stun though. On towards Ayrton Cells, they can't find it anymore, and now Banished has to flash away.
Yeah, I mean, you try to get the play onto the Urgot with the flash, he just tanks it, flashes out. No big deal. And so
Here comes Bose again. Oop, maybe
Bose clearing out the vision. Maybe looking to dive.
Interestingly enough, Shaw did actually use the Fear Beyond Death, or the first part of his ultimate, in that little fight just then as Hindered Raven and Artek. They got to be careful. Artek's not even level 6 yet. Doesn't have access to the quickness. As now Bose coming around the wall, gets stunned down. They're looking for him. Goodbye.
And you knew that the Elise was bot side. You saw him clear your pink ward.
Oh, sure, around the tower. Which way is he going to go? In? I get kicked into the wall, and that will be that.
Getting the return kill there that they so desperately need. Definitely the better option here for them to do, but still, just really unfortunate there that they got caught out on just the edge of the turret there, being able to get stunned up. You know, you don't have your ultimate, you don't have anything up, and you're just gonna get taken down.
Rightio, as moving around the map. First turret taken there in the bottom lane by Vincent and co. And they're continuing to just accelerate away in this game. Over 3,000 gold lead now. Sam should get solo gold on this turret in the top lane. Nobody's there yet, actually. Knights have just let this one go.
I mean, you've already got the first turret, they have the pressure in the top lane. I think that it's probably the smarter call to not invest resources, try and keep this for 5-10 more seconds, but yeah, getting that tower there, really important. Getting this gold onto Sam, who has been able to make something sort of happen on the top lane, getting that 30 CS with Shaw roaming, but he is down 2 deaths. But as I say that, he did just pick up his Black Cleaver, so
which isn't too bad. He's gotten it before Shaw. Once Shaw gets his, it's just going to be dirty watching that Urgot do stuff.
Yes, but he did end up opting for the Merc Treads here, as well as Banished. They are respecting the AP damage coming out of the jungle and the mid here, which, and not just that though, as well as the CC, just across the board. The Merc Tread is definitely a vital pick. Maybe you could have opted for something like the Sork Pen, but I definitely prefer the Merc Treads on the Sandra here. Although you can see that Hindered Raven has not been able to pick up his Stormwizer yet, which really limits their options in terms of early fights. Compared to Tudo, who's this Kai'Sa who's meant to be behind in the laning phase, is up 20 CS. I definitely think that there's only so many, and then
oh, and he flashed as well. Oh,
things just not going so hot for Squids right now.
yeah, that is a feels bad, man, if I've ever seen one. There's this game just beyond their reach already. This will be Rift Herald probably taken for free there as well. Nothing that can be done. Tilt's just going around. Bose He got that first blood and you thought, oh, maybe it's not going to be too good for him, Ayrton Salas, for the trade kill, but he's just gone. He's just taken it so well from there.
Yeah, it's just the early pressure of the Elise is just being able to force all these map movements, force all these plays, and you can't quite count Squids out yet. They do have the late game team fighting with Zyre and a
Here we go. Artek's actually looking for something here, but he's lost half his health and achieved nothing. So, once again, that quickness being used, it's just not getting anything that they really need. Out comes the Rift Herald instead. Very nice play there, I have to say, from Knights, just being able to do exactly what they needed to. They're going to take a Drake on the bottom side of the map, but it means nothing. That charge has come through. Down goes the tower.
And I mean, now they're sitting there. That was so unfortunate. Looking to force something in the top lane here, just gonna push down the second turret.
Yeah, there's nothing that can really be done now. They've got 4 members as well. Help on the tower. This bottom lane can't do anything, and especially when the Zyre is gonna get stunned up. He has to flash away. They can't get away though. There goes Artek back into the team. Vanish is going to be able to turn around one. Sam should be almost able to find another. The tower's fallen. The Rift Herald's still going. Vincent's going to fall. He takes down Hindered Raven, but I'm not sure that's particularly worth. And this is maybe an opening now for Squids.
I mean, when you're this far behind, trade kills like that are really good. You know, you get these shutdown kills, you get this momentum. The problem is that there was just a trade, and that's not quite enough to be able to claw their way back in, but it's a start, and that's what's important.
They've been able to get Vincent there, but they need to get Chudo, or they need to get Bose. This could be the opportunity now. Chudo being caught up, stunned up. He looks for the trade, can't find it. Bose is now there as well. This could be the perfect 1-2 punch that they're looking for. If they can just get onto him, no they can't, so they get the shutdown onto the mid laner. They get a bit more extra gold.
Yeah, and things in this current meta swing back so quickly when you get these shutdowns, when you get these bounties, you know, force things around the map. And so 1 or 2 loose team fights, messy team fights from your side as the team in control and team in the lead, and then suddenly you're on the back foot again. And so I think that they have to be Knights has to be very careful how they play the next team fight or two. Otherwise, this game could completely turn around.
Exactly. If they play it as they should win. If they're sloppy, well, they're just giving Squids a way back into this match. At this point, we're still not even at 20 minutes. Like, they should be taking this game away now. But you just feel that there's a little bit of an asterisk. Like, 4,500 gold, but
you have banished on this Lissandra for team fights. You have the setup from the Rakan. You have the threat that is Sam's Renekton. And obviously you have Hindered Raven with the amount of teamfight AoE damage you can do with the Zyre.
Absolutely. Ooh, Shaw and Sam here. Going to have a nice ding-dong battle from the top lane. Bose is going to turn up because he can just go wherever. He's basically a Mundo at this point in time. Goes where he pleases. Fear Beyond Death, I believe, has fallen down as Shaw actually... No, hang on. Sam's nearly 1v2'd this one. How's he going to do this? Nice flash over the stun. He gets 1. He's going to get 2 here. There is no way that he... Except for the tower, no Banish is going to turn up instead. As well as Ayrton Salas. And there we go. They get the 2 of them. But that shutdown so big.
We say how much of a talent and star player Sam is here for Squids, but the 1v2 on the Fed carry that is the Elise and this Urgot pick here, that was crucial as a way to be able to get back into this game.
We'll see exactly what they can do with that now that they've been able to pick that one up. Bit of extra gold on towards their star top laner. Now, Ayrton Salas underneath the tower goes straight on towards the Veigar. Just look at the CC train. Ayrton Salas, fantastic play there. And all of a sudden now Squids, they are up and about. They are looking for it. Bose, though, should be able to trade this one. Ayrton Salas, he can't really get out of there. Oh, he nearly dodged everything. But you just can't get away from that spider.
There's only so much you can dodge when there's that many skill shots being thrown at you, and so... Unfortunately, gets taken down, but he did get the hero playoff, so I think things did work out in their favor still, but yeah, unfortunately he couldn't get away with it.
Ooh, Banish, how is he gonna go? Oh, he's gonna go straight in for this one. He's gonna be able to get the stun down as well. On towards Vincent. Malik having to run away there. 4 versus 3. Could be turned around now. Sam going to have to use his ultimate. He's looking for Malik. He can't find him. He will fall down. The shutdown now over towards Vincent. Chudo maybe going to look for more as he's already doing so much damage on that Vega. And there we go. All of a sudden, just as you felt that Squids were really going to start turning up with a couple more extra fights, it just turns around again.
Yeah, and I think that's maybe them lacking that extra oomph of damage that they really need. That level, you look at the farm on Hindered Raven, he's down 50 CS to Vincent here. And so, while yes, he does have the Stormrazor, he didn't have a Zeal, and he didn't have any other crit item, which means the Stormrazor's damage from that crit is actually significantly reduced, and so...
Absolutely, I think as well, I mean, you know, being that 50 farm down, as well as 4 kills and an assist, there's those Artek? Shouldn't be anything happening there. He's actually nearly 3,000 gold down, which you can see. He's an entire item down.
Yeah, and that's just... I mean, we say that Hindered Raven's such a, you know, a stable pick for Squids here, but when you're faced like someone like Vincent, and, you know, they have such a strong threat in their bows in jungle, you can't really expect Hindered Raven to be able to match all of that and stay even in this game, and so maybe a little bit disappointing, but it is what it is, and so sort of losing another one of their win conditions here.
Very much so. Now we see 20.5 minutes, so the Baron has actually been up for, I believe they changed that, so it's actually up in 19 minutes, I seem to think.
Did they change? I thought it was always 20 minutes.
It might be 20 minutes. I might be getting confused from All Stars, that is for sure. But we're now at the point where teams might be looking towards this Baron. Vision is being fought over on this top side of the map.
Yeah, and definitely learning from their mistakes of the last game, setting up this Vision here, forcing them out. Not gonna lose Baron for nothing again.
Very, very true. They don't want to be doing that. You do find, though, the 4,000 gold lead over towards Knights at the moment is going to make things pretty good. Going to be very difficult to really lose a fight. The only thing you want to say is that Chudo is currently sitting on about 1,400 gold in his pocket. So he could probably go back and actually purchase something there.
Yeah, maybe want to grab that Zhonya's Hourglass, so to be able to survive some of the burst here, but looks like they're just going to go onto the Baron.
Yeah, they see what they can do. How quickly can they take it down? In the end, they realize not fast enough. As actually Sam there on the bottom side of the map as well. All flashes there from Bose. Also forces the one out from Hindered Raven. Nice little play, but doesn't really amount to anything.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, Sam did have TP, but so did Shaw, and they could have answered that. They also did have the vision, and you saw Banished on the backside of that fight, getting ready to go in. So maybe the smarter will back off, but he flashes.
Ooh, Banished going straight forwards there. Looking for Vincent. Now he's got to be a little bit careful. Actually will use the Zhonya's. Heads himself straight on towards Vincent. Can he actually get him? Not quite at this point. He needs one more. He will find him eventually on the backside play. But the rest of the fight is going terribly now for Squids. Banished will eventually fall down. Sam looking for all of it. He wants to go 1v9 if he can. He's on towards Chudo. Flashes away underneath the tower. He finds it. The red buff will do it. On towards Sam now. Oh, sure, sorry, I should say, as Sam running away. One last tick of health. Can he actually get away?
Oh.
Yes, he can.
Oh my god! That was so close. That was like a pixel away from hitting Sam there. And, I mean, you say that we talk about how Sam is the catalyst for them in this game. And I'm starting to believe in the Renekton pick, and I definitely think after that team fight, I can see why that he wanted to pick it. It's being able to dive through their team, get onto the people and the picks that he needs to get onto. Also have to say that I do not know how to say this name off the top of my head because I'm an idiot. And Celis, that is it. And being able to get onto the Kaiser there was just pivotal, but
Oh, Sam though, he's been caught out once again. We saw it last match, which was the catalyst to them ending. This could be yet again the way that Knights will just be able to open up this game. On towards Baron they go. Sure, just going to run at Hindered Raven. He can't really do much here at all. He gets thrown back into the team. Uses his ultimate, bit unnecessary. Falls down there. Chudo will take the kill. And straight on towards Baron they go now, Knights.
I mean, they do have the Rakan ult and the Lissandra, Rakan ult in shortly, but Lissandra ult here. So they can maybe try to make something happen.
What can they do? Artek actually incredibly low. Fear beyond death. There he goes. He will get meat ground. Can Ayrton Salis get in there? They're just going to stop doing the Baron. There is the blast plan. Can't get in there. They've gone in anyway. And it's just... just so unfortunate to see there. Down they will go. Baron secured fairly easily there in the end by Knights.
They didn't have the vision there of the HP, and so they had to guess when to go in, and now things are just looking worse and worse. You have the... You actually see the Kaiser opting for the Merc... sorry, QSS, Quicksilver Sash, to be able to survive this Lissandra CC, but...
Even the Renekton CC.
Yes,
or even the Rakan CC.
But you have, you know, these item spikes coming out for their Veigar, for their Kaiser. You have the, you know, the support items being picked up for these team fights. And so, now with Baron, really going to start looking for them trying to close out this game.
Well, yes, close out this game, close out this series. They are quickly moving towards getting themselves into tomorrow night's grand final, which has been quite the turnaround there for Knights. At one point in this season, I felt that they were maybe on their backs a little bit. They lost off the grid in week 1. They started looking a little bit shaky through week 2. They've really turned up here today, and Squids, well, I mean, we were feeling it, weren't we? We were feeling that maybe they had a really good chance, and I think they've definitely shown, you know, their skills today. As here we go, Artek's going to go straight on towards Bose. Out comes Zhonya's the status, but it won't be enough just yet. Actually, we're waiting for him to fall back down. Eventually, there it is, the shutdown. Banish, though, now he's stuck on the wrong side of everybody. He gets taken out as well.
I mean, like we say, 1-for-1 trades are good. The problem, especially when they have Baron buff.
Oh, Sam, he's gone into the backside of the team here. Artek just falling down low. Sam can't do anything. He's just getting CC'd him. Can he do it? No, the fear beyond death will be enough. He's got the GA. What can he do? He just needs to get a couple of hits. He will fall eventually. Hindered Raven, the last one left here, will be slowed down. Tries to turn around. Stunned up. Taken down. Vincent just burns at the end of the fight. That is enough for another big team fight win for the Knights.
And they try to make these things happen. They try to force these fights because they have to. If they don't do anything, they're just going to let them push into the base and they're going to slowly lose the game. So I have to respect them for trying to force something. The problem is that they're not winning the things they're forcing. And so they just fall further behind. And their options for coming back into this game are definitely limited. You see that Hindered Raven died there with the ultimate, not even, you know, bothered to use it. He knew he was dead. Setting up for the next fight, setting up for the next chance to be able to take this game.
Has been a very rough series as a whole for Hindered Raven. I think he got 1 kill in the last game. This game he hasn't been able to pick up one yet. He's just struggling to get his damage down against a real class ADC in Vincent.
It's not even just that though, it's the fact that you're facing down the zoning potential from the Veigar, the damage threat that is Bose, you have, you know, the wall of Melg, and you don't really have any of those sort of frontline zoning protection champions, you know, like a Shen or like an Alistar or like I'm trying to think of the name here, you know, like a Maokai. You have a Lissandra who's your engage tool along with the Renekton and the Lee Sin, so his team not maybe drafting it and giving him the chance to be able to get into this game, but...
Oop, here we go. This could be an opportunity here. They will get out of it, however, the Squids stunned up there towards Banish. He will go golden. Bose, though, just takes down Artek immediately. Sam He has to pop his ultimate as well. He's just slowly running away, but he gets dragged back in. And Shaw flashing forward, gets the fears coming out of everyone. Banish having to go in toward... Oh, he gets taken down anyway. It does not really matter at this point in time. This is just now the Knights. Chudo.
Huh.
Why not?
He was at 60% health, right? Like, that wasn't my eyes deceiving me. He just... I mean, that's a Vega for you, I guess.
Absolutely. And with that, that will be the end of it here then. Knights, just too good on the day. In a clean 2-0, they will head into the grand final.
Knights just ran away with that game. I think Bose on this release was just so impactful in the early game, and throughout this whole match today, I think that Squids definitely put up a fight. They tried to make things happen, but Knights just so clean in their execution across the board. Tudo being so strong on this Kai'Sa pick, and so they end up taking it and they get into the final, and let's see who they end up versing.
Well, that's actually... We actually already know that. Very unfortunately, we have gotten news that Adversaria have had to forfeit their semi-final. So, tomorrow night, Knights versus Off the Grid. The grand final that we all thought would happen has happened.
Wow.
I think we were talking about it like at the start of the season. Like round number 1, you had those two playing off against each other just after Adversaria had knocked off the Grid, or Zephyr as they were in week 1, and Knights versus Off the Grid, pretty one-sided there really at the end of the day. Off the Grid taking that victory. Now we get to see them in the grand final in the best of 5. See who's going to be able to win, what sort of tactics are going to come out, how they're going to play the mind games across the length of the series. I'm looking forward to that.
I mean, how many times do you have to see these two teams go against each other to understand that these two are probably the best teams in OC at the moment? And I think that they definitely know each other the best out of any other two teams in the tournament. We saw that week 1. We've seen that again and again. And so I'm really interested to see what they end up trying to mind games in the draft phase, what they try to play around. We saw the Kai'Sa here being a major priority. So do Off the Grid attack that? And we'll have to see. I'm really interested to see what angle they try to approach this from.
I think the important thing is that these two teams, as you mentioned, they know each other very well. Off the top of my head, I think Off the Grid, more often than not, have the wood over Knights. That just seem to always meet each other, and it very rarely goes the way of Knights. So will tomorrow be any different? That is really the big old question.
Yeah, I mean, the tournament started with the bottom 2 seeds doing really well, going 2-0 in the first week, and now it's ended with the first 2 seeds back at the top, and so I think that's really interesting. I'm kind of disappointed, I have to say, a little bit disappointed we didn't get a little bit of a mix-up, or someone coming out, from the underdog position. Visaria almost making them on there, unfortunately having to forfeit, but
as much as it's disappointing, we had a little bit of fun on the way. With that, everybody, hope you've had fun this afternoon. It has ended up being quite a short one, unfortunately, but we're looking forward to bringing you the big grand final tomorrow evening. Do hope that you will be able to be there and watch it with us. Till then, though, we will see you. Good afternoon.
Nobody's perfect, I'll never try. No, but